Hello, welcome to a special version of Un-Hully Alliance. I am Jim Kress, writer for City on the Take, Blackhawks expert, and this...
I am Jason McAdams of St. Louis Game Time.
And?
Because Un-Hully Alliance!
The beat!
Intro song.
Alright, so what have you been doing since the last time the Blackhawks played the Blues? It's been, what, since December?
Early December.
Early December.
What have I been doing?
Yes.
I have been sleeping and working. And Christmas happened.
Christmas, that did happen. That usually happens every year, around the 25th of December.
Just about. So what have you been up to then?
Well, I actually got married, so
congratulations.
Thank you. So officially, as a human being, I have more rings than the Blues. All right, what have the Blues been doing since?
The Blues have been doing a lot better than I have lately. I just came off of a 13 game point streak, going 12-0-1 for a franchise record. Until last night. I believe that the hockey rink in Columbus just collapsed and...
No. See, what happened was Columbus won 7-1. Brian Elliott got pulled.
7-1 happens sometimes, especially when you give up 7 goals. It's...
That's true. Unfortunately, the Hawks haven't been doing much better. It took 149 minutes and 25 seconds for the Hawks to score a goal. They were shut out in 2 straight games. Patrick Kane eventually broke the scoreless streak, helping to win. They won against Winnipeg yesterday 2-1 in overtime. Patrick Kane scored 2 points and now is tied for the NHL lead in points. He could be the only American-born player to ever win the Art Ross. We'll talk about this year. This year, with the trade deadline coming up, who do you think is applicable to come to the St. Louis Blues?
I'm not sure if the Blues really have a whole lot of extra needs at the moment. They've been scoring a lot of goals with the emergence of the STL line. The defense hasn't been as stacked as in years past, unfortunately. And with the injury to Shattenkirk, that is going to take its toll for the next month or so. But I'm not sure they're in a position really to add on the defense. And they're very much up against the cap space. Honestly, I would, especially after last year's move blew up in their face a little bit, I would not expect the Blues to be adding much this year. Yeah. And what about Chicago?
Well, I think Chicago needs to make a big move defensively. You can see Joe Quenneville, who has been just burying Rundblad on the bench and lowering his minutes, giving them to Oduya and Roosevelt, who've been garbage this year. You could see him just screaming to Bowman to try and get another defensive player on the Hawks. Now, people that come to mind would be somebody like Cody Franson of Toronto or Keith Yandle from Arizona. You bring up players to be traded. Obviously, somebody else has to go. If you had to pick someone on the Blues to go, who would you pick?
Steven Ott. Get out. Now. I don't want you. I'm kidding. You're cool. But don't play on my team, though. Scored his first goal a couple weeks ago in almost a full year. Now let's take a look at the Central Division standings. Boom. Graphic. Nashville still leads the division, currently tied with the Blues, although they are playing as we are filming this, at 72 points. 0-0 in the second period, as it currently stands, with the Blackhawks not too far behind at 66 points.
Nashville currently, I don't understand, where did they come from? They're at 72 points right now, obviously tied with you guys for first place, could possibly be in first place in the lone spot in the Central by the time we're done finishing here. What have they done? What makes them so good?
1, Pekka Rinne is healthy. The best goalie on earth when healthy. Quote me on that.
And he looks like Neil Patrick Harris.
He does.
Yeah, like
that
oddly
just
like
makes
Neil
him
Patrick
even
Harris.
better.
I know, and that's why I always trade for him in NHL 15. Even though I really like Crawford.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
2, Peter Laviolette taking over coaching. Taking what Barry Trotz has built over his tenure in Nashville with a strong defensive play and adding a more wide-open offensive element to it has made them not just a good team, but a fun team to watch. And 3, Philip Forsberg.
Talk about some of the rookies. Obviously, Teuvo, he scored a couple points since being up. He scored his first NHL goal against the Jets a few weeks back. I really think he's got a lot to offer for the Hawks. a little short stat on him. In his first 9 games, he had 18 even strength scoring opportunities. To compare that to somebody else who is 6th in the NHL in scoring opportunities, Marian Hossa. Hossa had 24 scoring chances in that exact same time period. So 18 to 24, not a big difference. And he's playing with Shaw and Bickle, who have been...
Meanwhile, for the Blues, winger Dmitry Yashkin has carved himself a nice little niche on the third line, being centered by Paul Stastny, with Patrick Berglund on the opposite wing. Has proved himself very effective now that Hitch is actually giving him a chance to play. Lately, Ty Ratty has been called up just about a week ago from the Chicago Wolves. Hasn't been too much lately, although he had a few good chances against Buffalo the other night, and also had his first career assist as well in the National Hockey League. He was a healthy scratch against Columbus last night, but then again, we were all healthy scratches against Columbus. It might have been what really happened.
Is he the X factor for St. Louis? I mean, they lost 7-1. Is he the X factor?
I would call him the Y factor, the tie factor.
That was lame.
The TIE Fighter. Boom!
TIE Fighter, that's good.
TIE
I like TIE Fighter.
There you go.
What are some notable injuries for the Blues this year, or right now?
Laterra is expected to miss his 6th straight game with a concussion. Also, Chris Porter has been out since December. Probably will still be out.
For the Hawks, Chris Versteeg is still out, although he started skating, and he was in practice today, taking over Patrick Kane's spot on the line, who was resting. I don't foresee him playing against the Blues. He might be back next week. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he has been skating as well. He's probably still 2 or 3 weeks away. Hopefully the Hawks need a lot of help on defense. So him coming back, although he's not the answer, he is much better than what their current situation is. If you had to pick a team, like let's say Blackhawks and Blues don't face each other in the first round, and
the Blackhawks and Blues don't face each other in the first round.
That doesn't happen, but yet they still lose. Both teams lose in the first round. Who's your team that you want to win?
I'm really hoping the Islanders make it deep this year. They're a fun team. They've got their defense in order. I still love Yaroslav Halak. I think they'd be fun. And to do it in the New York market as a different team other than the Rangers, I mean, come on now. Come on.
That would be true. I mean, I like the Islanders too, mostly because Nick Leddy is currently on their team, and he's doing a fantastic job.
Kyle Okposo,
he's also fantastic. They've got a really good team. I like them. But my pick, I lived in Florida for 4 years. I would totally go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have Steven Stamkos, who's probably one of my favorite players to watch play.
I don't think we freak out enough about how good Steven Stamkos is.
He really is. I mean, he's having an off year, and yet he's still like 5th in scoring. Yeah, in the NHL, it's pretty insane.
And don't forget goaltender Ben Bishop, 6'7", St. Louis native.
What do you think the outcome of tomorrow's game will be?
6-1 Tarasenko hat trick.
You know, no, Corey Crawford's in that. He's not giving up 6 goals. I'm gonna go with a 3-2 shootout game. I think that's what it's going to be, and I think it'll be Blackhawks. Again, I'm Jim Kress from City on the Take.
Jason McAdams of St. Louis Game Time, BestBNation.com.
You can always follow me at Jim Kress Jr. That's JR, not JUNIOR. Or you can follow City on the Take at City on the Take.
And I am at JMill1120, 2 L's. Or at St. Louis Game Time. This has been Un-Hully Alliance.
This has graphics. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Ryan Reeves. I was a Charmander guy myself.
Yeah, you know, I would have been Charmander too. He's awesome. He's my favorite. But Squirtle turns into Blastoise, who is basically Water Bowser. So, granted, giant on Fire Dragon is also pretty cool in Charizard, who can't fly.
Where are my dragons?
He can't fly.
You can't. You can't. I did.
No.
Teach Pidgey to fly.
You can teach anyone to fly. Just some of them naturally come with it.
No, you can't. Maybe in the newer, like the yellow version, but in the blue and red version, you can't teach them how to fly.
I did. I remember that. I flew on my Charizard. I remember that on my Pokemon Red.
All right, that's.
How old Dimitri for life?
You didn't end it though.